There is going to be a vote today in Parliament on the foreign aid budget. Of course, the government recently announced they'd be reducing the foreign aid budget from 0.7 to 0.5, shaving off around 4 billion quid. By the way, that still means the foreign aid budget annually is still going to work out around 10 billion quid. And before I get into this, just look at this from the BBC, who actually produced this. When you look at aid spending there, the UK way above the likes of France, way above the likes of Japan, Canada, Italy, and the US. As I've long said, this idea of giving a certain amount is absolutely ridiculous. It should be done on a case-by-case basis. Who needs what? For what reason? Are we getting value for money? Is it going to the right people? Is it helping the right people? And of course, cutting foreign aid is one of the most popular policies there is in British politics, with YouGov finding that 2/3 of Brits support cutting the foreign aid budget. And as for Conservative MPs, just look at this, 92% of Conservative in favour of cutting the foreign aid budget. Just 3% of Tory voters against it. They must be the most overrepresented group in terms of MPs in Westminster, most overrepresented group of voters out there. And you'll also see, by the way, more Labour and more Lib Dem voters support cutting foreign aid than oppose. And yet there have been Conservative rebels threatening to defeat the government on this and to hike the foreign aid budget back up. Well, Chancellor Rishi Sunak now has come out of a plan ahead of this vote, which would mean that the cuts to the foreign aid budget will be reversed when two fiscal targets are met, defined by the Office for Budget Responsibility, when they confirm that the government is no longer borrowing for day-to-day spending and when underlying debt is falling. At that point, the aid cuts would be reversed. Now, there were around 40 or 50 rebel Tory MPs, unbelievably, representing just that 3% of Tory voters against cutting the foreign aid budget. 14 of them now, with this proposal from Rishi Sunak from the government, have now said that they'll support the government on this, including Ben Everett, who's written for Times Redbox, saying, by basing these conditions on the forecast of the Independent Office for Budget Responsibility and not government projections, we can be confident that when the problem with our public finances is fixed, we will return to the 0.7% target. But quite clear to me that overwhelmingly British public opinion, which will note some media outlets, they won't actually ever talk about public opinion when it comes to this. But the overwhelming view in Britain is that we should be cutting the foreign aid budget, that we're giving far too much money away. And of course, we'll wait to see what happens in this vote in Parliament, and I'll bring you the result of that on my channel, guys. So make sure you've hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss my next video. Do give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you hit the join button. See the link in the top pinned comment if you want to support my channel by becoming a member. I would really appreciate your support. And of course, as ever, guys, thanks for watching.